Hello, Search here for the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question that came in today from Tom Sauve, S-A-U-V-E, and Tom says, "Hi Serge, absolutely love this site. I have been using the vertical swing for about 2 seasons now. I still think I am not coming up completely vertical. When I try to over-exaggerate the upward motion, it seems to work better, but I get some pain in my left wrist. When I go into the catcher's mitt, I then lift or push the club upwards and then down vertically. This kind of pinches the ball and it creates a nice crisp shot with a slight fade. My question is, am I doing something wrong that is causing the pain in the left wrist?" Again, submitted by Tom. Okay, Tom, normally you've heard me say that tension, stress, and strain and pain is the prelude to pain, and normally if you're getting some type of pain or at least tweaks or a little, as you called it, yeah, you're saying pain, that might mean there's something wrong. Now the question becomes, what's causing it? Did you have some type of injury, hit a divot or something that got a little deep, or maybe even clipped a root or something that caused a stress or strain, or might even a slight tear in your ligaments? I don't know, but you need to ask that question and start looking there. Another thing we have to look at is just the simple fact that there's things called arthritis and things along those lines. And in fact, today somebody was asking about if they should take glucosamine and chondroitin for the supplement for joint health. And in it, this was a question that comes into a gentleman named Dr. Donahue, which is he's a syndicated columnist in many newspapers. We get him here in the Spartanburg paper, and he says, does using glucosamine and chondroitin prevent arthritis, specifically osteoarthritis? If so, he doesn't agree. He goes on to go into a lot of comment about he doesn't think that really works that much. But on the other side of the coin, I know many people, including my wife, who use it, and she feels that it really helps her in her case for her knees. Glucosamine is a large fan base for the treatment of osteoarthritis. This is the most prevalent kind of arthritis, the kind that comes from the wearing away of joint cartilage. A joint is a place where two bones meet. The ends of those bones are covered with cartilage to permit the joint to bend smoothly and comfortably. With age, joint cartilage fragments and thins. That exposes the bone ends to rub against each other, a painful situation. Osteoarthritis is the result. So one of the things we have to look at is, could there be some arthritis coming into this situation? Again, I guess the best answer to go find that out is to go see your doctor, because if that's the case, you could be making the most perfect swing in the world and it's still going to hurt. As I know, I've been to a hand surgeon, a hand doctor, and they've told me I have no cartilage in my left thumb. It's completely worn off, and so basically that hurts. And I found a way with that to put it more over to the side. Instead of being about 1 o'clock, I put it almost to maybe 3 o'clock. It still doesn't get in the way in my grip, but it takes stress off of it in the swing, and I make many swings pretty much pain-free, other than the fact there's just a little always dull ache in my thumb, which is pretty much there almost all the time. I choose not to take a lot of these anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or Advil or whatever, because I feel that it's been said taking too much of those can be bad for you in certain other organs of your body, as well as the fact that I want to know it's hurting, because a lot of times if you don't feel it's hurting, you could be overusing it and causing more problems. And so I don't take those. I very rarely take those drugs, but I found a way to do that. So number one, I think you need to go to see the doctor and get checked to see if maybe you're having arthritis issues now. The next second thing would be if that is not the case, but maybe you have torn some stretched or hurt some ligaments. I think one of the things you could do is try using some type of wristband. This is a band that I got years ago from the PGA Tour van. It's actually one that's like neoprene, some type of rubbery type of material. And it holds the heat in, which adds another benefit of using this band. I can use it for a wrist, and it's also basically my wristband if my elbow starts to hurt a little bit. I'll just put it up here and lock it down. In fact, most of the time I put it below the elbow. So this one here can be used both both ways. Now the benefit of one of these is that if you're having a little stress and strain on joints and ligaments in there, in your wrist or your elbow, when you put this on, it tightens it up and it reduces their ability to twist and turn and get overstretched and overworked. And so this can help you. If this finally doesn't help, I would say one of the things you need to do is probably take a little time off to see if it just is overuse issues, and puts you some heat and then some cold back and forth. Give it a couple days off or whatever, a little bit longer, and then go back and try it and see if the pain's gone away. Then you know you just, for whatever reason, had an overuse issue. But ultimately, you need to, in the end, if it's not going away, you need to go get it checked out, probably have x-rays taken or whatever they do to find out if it is some more damage to the tendons, ligaments, and maybe even arthritis. Swing-wise, I would think that, as you said, you're going up and you're getting quite vertical and you're lifting. And so one thing that could possibly be it is sometimes we think we're vertical, but we're over here, and the club is a little on the heavy side, and that's putting extra stress on the wrist. So I would say get in, have somebody either watch you, film yourself, or maybe get in the sunshine and put the sun where the sun's over there, so when you take your backswing up here, you can see your shadow back there, and you can see where your golf club is. Or use a mirror or whatever at some place where you can swing and check out the top of your backswing. I'd say another thing would be is to make sure that leaving the thumb on the top of the club is not the optimum place. The thumbs are always in their optimum dynamically balanced position when they're pointing up your forearm. And so that means that in a good grip, the thumb needs to be pointing over. It needs to be over, if you're looking at this as a clock, about 1 o'clock on the club, to not 12, but over about 1. So that means instead of having the flat of your thumb touching the club, it's really the inside of your thumb touching it, and that could be taken and getting up at the top, and when you transition and come down, that puts a lot of stress on the wrist joint and the thumb. And if you go over here and put the thumb at 1 o'clock, it comes down. It really relieves a lot of that stress. So check your left thumb position. That could be a big issue there. And then last but not least, I guess the fact could be that in many cases, some of us get up here and we allow the club and a lot of movement at the club at the top. And even though we might even be vertical, if we're coming up here and we're allowing a lot of wrist cock in the swing in the transition, and when you transition and get too much wrist cock going, that could be putting a lot of stress on it. So when I swing up, I try to get up to the top and down, and I try to make sure that everything comes up and down and nothing's changing. I don't want to feel one tendon, ligament, muscle, or whatever in both of my finger, in both hands, wrists, and forearms, that nothing changes. I want to feel like I go up and down, like straight up and down, and nothing changes. In fact, I've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So when I transition, I come up here, I don't ever want to see a lot of down cocking, or especially feel it. So I want to come up and down, and I want to keep it firm, because that, again, practicing a lot, playing a lot of golf, and you keep doing that's really can be overstretching the tendons and ligaments and be causing that problem and get them inflamed. And so consequently, you get back to what I said earlier about wearing the wristband and/or using some heat and cold compresses off and on to one to the other and give it a rest. But if you're doing that, if you have been doing that, just you want to get it up, down, and just go. So that was a pretty good swing. Doesn't make a big bang when I miss the target sometimes up there, but when I hit the target, it makes the big bang. So that's it for the search for today. About when we're getting some aches and pains, it could be a big deal, it could be just overuse, and it could be improper movement of the swing of your body and parts of your body in the swing. And the best way to check it out is to film yourself and take a look at it. Okay? Well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.